Hi there, and thank you for watching. Well, you know, on DukascopyTv we like to bring you something a little bit different. So welcome back to the fourth and final instalment of our Glitter, Glamour and Investment series with Elke Berr. So far we've spoken about rubies, sapphires, emeralds and how to identify the stones. Today we'll be talking about the all-important thing, the value of the stones. Elke, thank you very much for coming back in.
Hi Monica.
Now, if we just remind ourselves, if you can just tell us a little bit about the different characteristics of these precious stones which help to determine their value.
Yes. So first thing, we talked about the 4 C's of the diamonds. So the 4 C also, you look in the color stones as you look in the diamonds. So it's color, clarity, cut and carat weight. But with colored stones, you also have something emotional. You also have something which just you like it. For example, which one do you prefer here?
Oh, putting me on the spot. Let me see. This one in the middle. It speaks to me. I like this one.
So this one is a very brilliant Ceylon sapphire, but it's a bit shallow and it's a bit light to have the perfect value. But that's it. You can like something, and so it's for you personally, it's the value it has.
Now, if we look at some of the market values here, we can see just how they're going through the roof
yes.
as the years go on. So maybe you could talk us through.
Yes, but these, for example, this is quite interesting because they're really small stones, 0.50 carat to 1 carat 23. This is really very tiny. I think this is a 2 carat stone already.
Okay.
So just to see it's smaller than that, it's really very tiny stones, and that is what's usually used in the jewelry sector. And we can see that all stones used in the jewelry sector, ruby, sapphire, emeralds, are also going up. And also here we are talking about heated ones, for example, oiled ones. So you can see all stones are going up. So this is the good news.
Yeah, so it certainly seems as though it would be a correct and a clever investment choice to get involved in stones.
Of course it is. You can say it's an alternative investment and something what is very nice you can wear also. So it's really not something new. I think it's the oldest investment in the world.
It is fantastic, and if you think that so much changes over time, but that is one thing which has held true.
Exactly.
If we go back a little bit, if we dream a little bit, and we have some fantastic, fabulous, I don't know, exquisite stones to talk about here, some famous ones. Now, could you talk us through, first of all, this beautiful ruby?
So this is the most marvelous ruby I ever saw. I was in the Smithsonian. I don't want to go out again and just stand staring on the stones. And for example, this is a 23 carat. So I must really say, dealing with rubies every day, finding a stone 10 carat more is very rare. I just got a call for 20 carats. I just could find one, and this was not good enough. And here you see it's the perfect color, pigeon blood, nearly no inclusions, brilliance. So it was just the best of the best. Yes, to dream. And some kind of these stones are still in some families who don't want to sell, and in treasures, and some in the museums. We are very lucky for that. So everybody can admire them. That's
very true. Another one which is in the Smithsonian is this sapphire, which is also exquisite, isn't it?
Yes, it's 423 carat, and this is exceptional in size. Here you can also see that the cut at this time, because it's an old stone, it's not read perfectly. You see a bit through. You call it in the trades, you call it has a window. But the size and the color is exceptional, and of course it's an unheated stone.
Would you be able to wear that though? Would it be heavy?
It would be quite heavy, but I would wear it, I don't mind.
I'm sure, you know, they say there's no pain, no
but
pleasure.
Perhaps not as a ring, as a pendant.
There is a way around it, of course.
Exactly.
And last but not least, we have another fantastic emerald to look at. This is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a rough stone, so it's quite interesting because it's 1,330 carat stone, so really a big one. And of course it has to be cut to be worn later. But what is very nice, you can really see how it is in the rough size, and it's also a historical piece, because also, as I said, in the past sometimes they kept historical pieces, and nowadays there are a lot of collectors also buying these historical stones, or very often the stones are mounted, of course, in jewelry through the centuries, and you have very good possibilities in auction to find this kind of pieces. And I think everywhere in the world you can get to auctions, or you can bid online, and there are more and more collectors all over the world who really take the chance also to have fantastic gem quality stones and historical pieces also.
It's beautiful to see it in its rough kind after the shiny, the polished one, but that is still equally as impressive.
Exactly.
Okay, now if we think about, obviously we want to know that we've got the pure, the perfect quality of stone, but how are they governed? Who is in charge of ensuring the ethics are correct? If we come back into reality here, away from the dream world, we want to make sure that we have what our certificate says it is. So who decides all this? Are there associations which perhaps govern it?
So, for example, with the diamonds, there was the very famous films and so on, and since 2001 is the Kimberley process, which is very important. So now 99% of all diamonds are Kimberley process agreed. So also we write in all our invoices that we follow Kimberley process. In the colored stones, there is, for example, the Sipjo. It's a very famous blue book where all the regulations are. It says, for example, that you have to call treated, and if there are new treatments coming out, how you call them, everything about the nomenclature. Then there is, for example, the Swiss Association, and so I'm also part of it and part of the ethic. So we guarantee that our stones are ethical, so that we know where they come from. And there's also ICA, International Colored Gemstone Association, which is very important because it goes from the miners to the dealers. There are different associations, and I think nowadays nobody can permit not to follow it, because you will really lose your reputation. And we guarantee, as I said before, also in all our invoices, for example, heated, unheated, everything, we have to write it down, and all the jewelers also should say where this come from. They should buy from recognized dealers, so they can give this reputation on. And luxury industry, we are selling luxury, so it's very important, this point.
Certainly. Now, it's been a fantastic journey that we've came through with you, Elke, on this looking through the precious stones world. But just before we end our Glitter, Glamour and Investment series, do you have any last tips for us?
For example, if you go in a shop, or if you buy something, look at stones at different lights. For example, a white light, like the diamond light or this light, will have a different look. For example, so sapphires and diamonds or emeralds, you should have a look at this light. So very often in the shops they have yellow light, and yellow light shows completely different.
It does, actually.
So if you take also a ruby, for example, it looks under the white light, it looks not very brilliant, and the color don't come out. Ruby needs yellow light, and then you see the color. So every jewelry you buy with stones, don't hesitate to go to different lights. And the best is daylight also, but of course stone can also look different in Asia because the light is very bright. Then it looks in the north because the light is less. So light is very important. So just take something, go around. And I also like the idea from Indians. They say they buy a ring, they sleep 3 nights on it, and if they just have good dreams, it's the ring and the stone which is for them.
Wow, that is a really interesting
Of course, I don't know if all the tourists agree that you buy a stone and you sleep on it, but I think it's emotional also. So buy really, the value is something, but buy something you really like. And there's also just the decoration, just the thing, I have something, no matter how small or how big it is, buy what you can afford, what you like, and then just be happy with it. And it's emotion, and of course people say also that stones have good energies, different energies, and of course it's the most compact form of wealth which exists in the world.
And it's forever true, I think. That's
forever true, and wearable.
Exactly. No, you can have something which is fantastic, not only for your investment future, but also makes you happy.
Exactly.
Well, Elke, it has been an absolute pleasure once again to have you in and discover the world of precious stones with you. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, that has come to the end of our latest Glitter, Glamour and Investment series. Please do click back to DukascopyTv, and don't forget that Elke Berr is one of the sponsors of Miss Dukascopy, so maybe you could win some of the goods. Goodbye for now.